Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'm Jackson. I'm a 23-year-old financial coach. My dream is to be entirely financially free and retire early. So I created Money Mastermind as a way to connect with and empower other young entrepreneurs like myself with the groundwork for financial freedom. I'm posting weekly videos all about my thoughts and experiences with all things related to personal finance, young entrepreneurship, financial freedom, etc. So please hit the like button for the algorithm so more people like you can see the video. And if you like these types of videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. Let's jump into the video. 5 ways to make money in real estate. It should come as no surprise by now that there are tons of ways to make money in real estate. If you've had the opportunity of exploring the treasure trove that is HGTV or TLC, then you know what I'm talking about. But you gotta be careful. A lot of what you see on Flip or Flop or Property Brothers is played up for television's sake. Now, nothing against Tarek and Christina, just take their advice with a grain of salt. Now here's my list of the 5 most common and trusted ways of making money in real estate. The first and probably most popular way is by flipping houses. This method is pretty straightforward. You buy a house that is ideally under market value, fix it up and sell it for hopefully more than you put into it. The difference is your profit. This method, in my opinion, has its pros and its cons. There's obviously a decent amount of money to be made on a flip, especially if you get into the more expensive deals, but that also means that there's a lot of money to be lost. So if you're looking to get into real estate investing, I'd recommend you kind of look at your own risk tolerance before you just jump into flipping houses. If you're looking for a big lump sum for something in particular in the short term and you have a way of mitigating most or all of your risk, then go for it. But if you're looking for a more long-term stable option that doesn't involve as much risk, there are much better options. So here's a little example I made. This guy right here has no name and no face apparently. He buys this house for $100,000, mostly because the door matches his pants. And then the money he puts into it, he has some fixed costs, closing costs, taxes, etc. Those total up to be $15,000. He pads in $10,000 as a minimum profit, and of course has to fix up the property, which costs him $40,000. All of that totals up to $60,000, which makes his total $165,000 into the house. The blue shoes, blue shirt guy can sell the house for $200,000, making a profit of $45,000. So this is just an example flip, but you can get the idea of sort of the math that you want to do to figure out your profit. If you're looking to get into flipping houses, the first thing you'll want to do is look for deals, and you can actually do some of this math ahead of time before actually buying the property. So you'll look at other houses in the neighborhood to get an idea for what you can sell the property for once you fix it up. You'll hear people refer to these as the comps. Then you'll take that desired selling price and you'll subtract out all of the fixed costs like the closing costs, the taxes, subtract out your profit buffer as well as the cost of rehab, and that'll give you a maximum purchase price for the property. So in this example, you would have $200,000 that you can sell the property for, subtracting out the $65,000 that you put into it, giving you $135,000. If the house costs any more than that, then you're eating into your profit of $10,000, but nameless faceless dude was able to buy this house for $100,000, so he made a sweet profit of $45K. Now let's see some other ways to make money in real estate. The second and my personal favorite is the buy and hold strategy. If long-term growth is your thing, then this method is probably for you. You also hear it referred to as the BRRRR Method, which stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. The idea here is to build your equity and your overall net worth by continuing to acquire properties that are all paying you monthly via rent. If you can find a decent property, ideally something that needs a little bit of aesthetic work but not much structural repair, then you should be able to get a decent rate of rent that'll cover your mortgage and all other expenses. Also, when you're doing those repairs, you're adding equity to the property, which allows you to do a cash out refinance down the road. Basically, you go out and you take a bigger loan because the house is now worth more, you pay off your old loan, and you have a little bit left over. So consider this example. You buy a house that's worth $200,000 and you put 20% down, so $40,000, which means you're left with a mortgage of $160,000. You put a ton of repairs into it, and then you go to the bank and you say, hey, I think my house is worth more. How much money can I get for it? And the bank says, well, let's have an appraiser go check it out and we'll write you a loan for the new amount. The appraiser comes back and they say that the house is worth $320,000 now. So the bank says, we can write you a new loan for 80% of that, or $256,000. So you use that $256,000 to pay off the old loan of $160,000, and you're left with $96,000. If you put that money back into more real estate and repeat the process, the growth becomes cyclical and exponential. So overall, the idea is you're just building up your portfolio as big as you can, getting rental income, and your net worth is also going up. Every house that you own increases in value. If you're the long-term investor like me who wants secure growth and ultimately passive income, then this is probably the route for you. The third way you'll see is called wholesaling. The general concept here is to buy and sell as many properties at scale as possible without actually owning them, just the contract. A wholesaler will look for a distressed home or a short sale. They'll get a hold of the contract for as low as they can, find an investor or somebody willing to buy the house and sell it to them for more. The difference then is their profit. This model is sort of interesting because it's very scalable. I've seen a lot of people become wildly successful through businesses that wholesale real estate. I personally don't have a whole bunch of experience with it, but if you're looking to get into real estate full time, it might be a fun option to look into. The fourth way is called real estate syndication. This is where you take a group of people and pool together money that gets invested into real estate. It's pretty popular, especially in multi-unit real estate, because as you can imagine, it takes a lot of money to buy a hotel or an apartment complex. But as they say, it takes money to make money. If you know Grant Cardone at all, then you'll know that his business model is all about real estate syndication. This is typically reserved for the more serious investors, especially because it takes a lot of money to get into. If you know some real estate investors who'd be willing to go in on some deals with you, then this might not be a bad idea. But then again, there's nothing wrong with running solo. The fifth way doesn't actually involve owning properties at all. That would be just investing in the overall real estate market. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this. There are real estate investment trusts, REITs, or there are real estate exchange trade funds, I believe, real estate ETFs. They're all basically different just stock pools that look at the overall health and success of the real estate market. A super popular platform for this is fundrise.com. I'm not sponsored at all, but it's really good and I like what they do in terms of investing in real estate. So if you're looking for something really hands-off, this might be a fun way to get into because you can just do it from the security of your own home with your computer, internet connection, cup of coffee. And if you're in it for the long term, there's a pretty good chance you'll end up making money here because real estate, just like the stock market, typically likes to go up in price over a long period of time. So here is fundrise.com, build a more perfect portfolio, introducing the first simple, low-cost real estate investment platform. So again, there are many options here. This is just one that I happen to like. You can kind of scroll through here and see what they do, the type of real estate they invest in. You can see how you can diversify, what the returns have been since 2014. Not bad, not bad. And historically too, if you zoom out, it's always a positive percentage. If we click over here to investments, and they have 3 core plans based on your risk tolerance and a lot of different things. You can also use this guide to project the performance of the 3 different plans. Pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, if you want to get into real estate investing, I'd recommend a platform like this. Do your own research, of course, but here's a good place to start. So to recap, you can either 1, buy and sell houses or flip them. You can 2, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat, or the buy and hold strategy. You can 3, buy and sell contracts at scale, wholesaling, or pool other people's money together, syndication, or 5, invest in REITs through something like fundrise.com where you're not buying properties at all. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this gave you some ideas. If you're interested in getting into real estate but not really sure where to start, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already to stay posted on all my videos. And hit the like button so more people like us can join in on the fun. Also, you can reach out, follow on any social. All the links are in the description. Till next time, peace.